Gracias por escuchar que bienes raíces sí importa.
The views and opinions expressed by the participants on this show are not necessarily those of Stewart Information Services Corporation, Stewart Title, or Stewart Insurance. Before you make any investment, you should seek the advice of your investment advisor or attorney.
Whether you're a real estate broker, realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, everything matters when it comes to real estate. This is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Stewart Title's Bill Knapik and guests open the door to what really matters in owning, buying, and selling real estate. And now, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, brought to you by Stewart Insurance. Here to inform, entertain, and inspire, Bill Knapik.
Welcome to the show. It is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Bill Knapik, on this tremendous weekend. And yes, once again, we have tremendous, awesome real estate professionals with us today. So we know you're going to enjoy the show, and let's get down to business right now as we welcome Gina Blanco. She is with Wazell Properties. Gina, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bill, for having me on your show.
Well, it's super exciting, and of course, real estate is ever-changing, and here you are, a real estate professional in the fourth largest city. So first of all, Gina, let's tell people about Wazell Properties.
Okay, well, hey, everybody. My name is Gina Blanco, your friendly realtor.
Friendly?
Yes, a friendly
That's
realtor.
what we like, friendly realtors.
Yes, I've been licensed in the Houston area for 5 years, and a lifetime of experience in the industry, working alongside my family, in investing and home flipping. I've been with Wazell for 4 years, and I am happy there.
Well, a quick word about home flipping. How much were you involved in home flipping? Because I think even when people aren't going to buy or sell their property or buy or sell a property, there's an intrigue into home flipping. Give us a quick word about that in your activities.
Okay, well, I started when I was very young, with a hammer in my hand. That's how I started. And now that I'm a realtor, I buy it, I flip it, and I sell it. So I started my journey in investing last year, and now I give investors insight. So I've learned a lot. So with my knowledge and expertise, I'm able to find opportunities for investors, and I'm able to match it to their strategies and their goals.
Well, super awesome. And let's tell people, as far as helping buyers and sellers, you are based in what part of town geographically?
So geographically, I am in Fort Bend County and Harris County, specifically in Sugar Land. I am in Katy, Cypress, Spring Branch, all over Houston, really.
So let's say in the last 10 transactions or so, where have you been geographically?
Spring Branch, Cypress, Katy, Rosenberg, and Sugar Land.
Sounds like the power outage map from our last week. But anyway, all super exciting areas and growing. Each one is growing at a fantastic rate.
Yes. Spring Branch, where I stay, I did get electricity a day after, so that was good. But on the tornado, Spring Branch had an outage for 5 days. So I just kind of feel like maybe Center Point started backwards this time around to try to connect.
Or something, yeah.
Or something.
Well, let's tell people, especially those that are listening from outside of Houston, about how the areas that we just mentioned, which basically are on the west side of town, how they're growing and have grown, say, in the last year or so.
Well, Spring Branch is an area where I focus the most because that's where I stay. Since it's a convenient area, where all the freeways are around, it tends to be a little on the higher end. And that's really where I have a listing now. Actually, my flip, that's where I have it now. So it's for sale there. Before I went on a field trip with my students, I did have a home sale where it was in Cypress. And that area, it's a non-flooding zone. My clients do like that area. Cypress schools are really good.
And this is in the Cypress area?
This is in the Cypress area, yes.
So as far as popularity, let's say, again, we have on the west side of town, for listeners out there, we have Cypress, we have Katy, and then going south, Sugar Land, Rosenberg, all on the west. Is one more popular than the others in terms of people going to that particular area right now, or not?
Not really. It just depends on what market they want. Some want it closer to their jobs. Also, the style of the home. Depending on how the market or how the area is for them and their convenience. Some just want to stay around their jobs or their schools.
As far as helping people from out of town, are you doing much of that lately? People say outside of Texas or even beyond.
I have had buyers try to contact me to try to help them find something in Houston. So once they come to Houston, we meet up and I try to see if I can help them find their specifics.
Do you think, based on the storm that we just had, that that's going to affect anything in real estate in terms of, I have something in mind, specifically in terms of listings? Do you think anything's going to happen because of this storm other than cleanup and things like that, and life hopefully getting back to normal for everybody?
As buyer, yes and no. No, because everybody's still trying to buy. Everybody understands natural disasters. And yes, because people that do have listings like myself, right now in Spring Branch, we did suffer all those damages. And my flip did have a tree fall on it. So I did have to kind of pause it and try to fix it to throw it back on the market and make it look presentable.
So certainly some repairs are going to be made and have to be made to sell a property. One of the things I was thinking of is if I were a real estate agent, I would be prepared for additional listings, because I think this event, for those that have lived here in Houston for any length of time that might be tired of this disaster or the next disaster and don't have to rely on Houston for income or retired or whatever, I have a feeling some people are going to put up the sign and say, I'm going to go find a new place to live. I'd be ready for some listings if I'm a realtor. Yes,
absolutely. I would think that a lot of people will be willing to sell because of this, but natural disasters happen every summer. The hurricane season. We're going to have to just deal with it and get home insurance.
Well, that's certainly true, and we're not immune. We're not the only ones that have disasters, but around the country, there are all sorts of places, and I just have a feeling there might be some checking out. Just a thought. In the meantime, let's tell people, you mentioned as far as before real estate, you were...
Yes, I was a former high school teacher. And it was an awesome time. I started teaching 10 years ago, and halfway through my career, I got my realtor license. And comparing both, I found similarities in helping people. So I kind of find it pleasurable to just kind of transition. I'm thrilled to be a full-time realtor now, and I'm excited to just give everybody that specific experience where I'm able to give them my expertise and my knowledge and teach them and answer their questions.
Now let's tell people the subject. What my favorite subjects you were teaching, and very intricate and fascinating subjects. What did you teach?
I taught 9th to 11th grade, so I finished this year. My last year, I'm doing biology. Right after biology, I went to Italy and Greece as a final field trip with my students. So I just got back in June. Stay tuned. My pictures are coming soon. But real estate.
Send those, yes, please.
Yeah, real estate is priority. So that's where I'm at right now. But it was amazing. And the students will forever stay in my heart. The memories are always flowing, and I loved it. It's just that if I'm going to be dealing with attitudes, I'd rather get paid a little more.
There's attitudes in that grade level? Yeah. Just a little, right?
Yeah, after the pandemic, they're just more outspoken.
But as you're saying, biology, the study of life, so fascinating in every turn, no matter what it is. I'm sure that helps you in what you're doing here today.
Yes, the study of life. Science, maybe it's not very correlated with real estate, but it did teach me, with my customer service and to be patient and to just listen to them and, answer their questions and just help them navigate them and guide them. And that's what I do for my clients now, whether they're home buyers or sellers or investors.
Listening is so important. We're talking with Gina Blanco. The company is Wazell Properties. What are some of the other things that you love about real estate, and in particular in terms of social media? All realtors are involved in one way or another with social media. What outlets and platforms do you find help you the most?
In my social media, I am in Instagram and TikTok, with Gina Sells Houses. I'm also on Facebook. I am from that era where the Facebook was taking off, so I'm there. And I'm also in that era where Instagram started taking off, so I'm there. I am technology savvy, so I do manage my social media myself, and I'm really good at it, actually. And then I also have a YouTube channel. And I also
What's the
have
name of your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel is Texas Real Estate.
Texas,
Gina Blanco, Texas Real Estate.
Gina Blanco, Texas Real Estate.
Yes. And then I also have a LinkedIn.
So you're covering a lot of bases there, Gina.
Yes.
That's a lot of work just to handle the section, the platforms that you just mentioned. There are at least 5 there, and that takes management. But it's helping your buyers and sellers, right?
It is. It is. It's just a lot of copy and paste, really, and just being able to navigate those platforms. And I do come from that era. And before I quit teaching, every time I had a question, my kids are really good at it too. So I would just ask them, hey, guys, how do you do this? And my students were really helpful too.
In what ways do you use Facebook the most? Because I put the show on Facebook, the segments that, like right now, this will be on Facebook. But how do you use Facebook as a realtor?
As a realtor, I do a lot of tour. I video my tours. I'm able to just also post my listings. I post my testimonials. I also put personal stuff on my Facebook mostly. My Instagram is strictly business.
Gina Blanco. Gina, before we close this segment, what else do you want people to know?
That I am thrilled to be a full-time realtor, and I am committed to making it a pleasant experience for my first-time buyers, sellers, or investors.
Let's tell people how they can reach you.
They can reach me, and they can book a free consultation with me at 832-755-5785. And on Instagram is Gina Sills Houses. And I want to do a nice shout out to Kevin Davidson, who invited me here on this show with you, Bill.
He's pretty awesome.
He
Kevin
is
Davidson.
amazing. My number is 832-755-5785. And also for my Spanish speakers, si hablo español. So please, llámame a 832-755-5785. Gracias por escuchar que Bienes Raíces sí importa.
Gina Blanco. The phone number one more time is
832-755-5785.
Thank you, Gina.
Thank you, Bill.
As we continue, let's talk to Greg Lindsay and Brian Buster. The company is Lux Living Group. Hey, Greg, let's tell people about Lux Living Group.
So Lux Living Group is a boutique. We have about 29 agents and been in business for about 5 years. And we have the concept of this is not a normal real estate transaction. We want everyone to experience what the lifestyle is, what you're getting into. And being a boutique allows us to give that really interpersonal connection to our clients and focus more on their needs and wants.
No doubt about it. And also from a geographic standpoint, Greg, where do you focus most of your attention, or where have you been, say, in the last 10, 15 transactions here in Houston?
Well, our office is located on Westheimer and Fountain View. I'm all over the place on that. I work with investors, multi-family investors mostly, but it deals with in the Inner Loop. It deals with the Heights for me primarily, but the investor side of the business for me is it.
And Brian, give us an idea. We'll tell people you were in the United States Marine Corps. Now you're in real estate. I'm sure there's a parallel there somewhere, but first of all, thank you for your service, and anyone listening that is a veteran or has served, we appreciate everything you do. But let's tell people, I would think that you have gotten a tremendous experience, to say the least, in the Marine Corps with discipline and things like that. But how does that help you in the business world, especially in real estate?
Well, Bill, I want to start off, and anyone who has not served, I want to say thank you for your support. We couldn't do what we do if it wasn't for your guys' support. And what I can say is that in the Marine Corps, it taught us to adapt. And I know in real estate, you're constantly adapting to the market. And one thing that was taught in the Marine Corps is you always want to adapt and be ahead of the curve, especially with the enemy. But in real estate, with the ongoing changes, it's I've learned that I like to take risk. I like adapting. I like whenever things change because I'm always up for a challenge. So.
And I would think also each real estate transaction, easy or hard, is a little bit different. So as you use the term adapting, I think that just like listening is so important, we have to adapt to each situation to help buyers and sellers along the way.
Absolutely. Active listening is probably one of the best. I've learned that in order to be a good leader, you got to be a good follower. And something when you work with your clients is emotional intelligence, or connecting on an emotional level is something I have achieved over my past experience working with clients, is really knowing their wants and their needs, but also
listening to the undertones of watching their body language and what's really their structural sounding meaning, what their true meaning is behind what their words are not saying. And us as a team together, we're on every listing, we're on every buyer's side together. So if you don't have one of us in the same room, it's like a circle of knowledge. We know what's going on because we've worked together for so long and in so many transactions that we can finish each other's sentence. So there's always that circle of information going on between the two of us.
No doubt about it. Give us an idea, Greg, as far as the marketplace right now. How are you seeing it here? We're past the midpoint of the year. It's an interesting year, to say the very least. How do you see things play out, and what's the market like right now in your world?
The market is hotter than most people think, and it's actually different from how I thought the year would go. I thought the first half of the year would be my prime business, and it's actually turning out to be July through December is going to be the majority and bulk of my business lined up what's in my pipeline. The amount of investors that are calling from out of state wanting to invest in Houston, especially from California or anywhere up north, just realizing your dollar goes much farther in Houston, is just packing our pipeline full. And the way we work with our clients virtually when they're out of state, or do a videography when they're not able to view the property and they're not in town, we go a circle around. You could always get us in either in face communication wise, or we can get on the telephone with you.
Also, I want to pick up on that. We also use a strategy. I've learned how to maneuver on Google, and how Google is, I believe, will be the success of in the future for your real estate as Google business, and understanding what Google has came out with. I have been very curious on to building my own systems or like rosters and stuff like that, where it helps me to work with a diverse group of clients. And
it's interesting you say that, because Google, as we all use it every day,
Mm-hmm.
a lot,
The Google Bible.
it is so mysterious. I don't know why the one thing comes up, how you get to be first on Google, but as you're saying there, Brian, there's a lot to it. Apparently, you have some insights.
I have a lot of insights. Google Skill Shop is actually I believe if you are a business owner of anything that you do, you should definitely invest your time in Google Skill Shops and learn how to market yourself, because I don't think I should pay for someone to market my stuff. I should be able to do it myself. And just being more educated is always, power of knowledge is just.
Along that thread, Greg, as you mentioned, and we hear and have heard it all the time on this show, people still coming from California. Are they really still leaving California to be here?
Flocking is the word I would use.
Flocking. Okay, let's use that word. They are flocking as we speak. In fact, people are showing up right now, no doubt about it. But are they finding you because of as what Brian's saying with the Google search? And because my question would naturally be, how do they find you at Lux Living Group?
So if you just Google Greg Lindsay, Houston Realtor, that's my username for practically everything. My Google Business, my Facebook, or my LinkedIn, which is one of my most popular. California buyers are literally on a daily basis calling, asking, what is available, and they're being shocked by the surprise that a duplex is $500,000, or they can buy a 10-plex for $1.5 million. Whereas California, you're tripling that number.
And then how many of these people that reach out to you are buying to have an investment here, but they want to stay in California, or how many are buying versus those that are buying to leave California and be here with either a home to live and or investment properties?
Actually, I'm going to say 50-50. So I currently am working with about 10 buyers from California, where about 6 are wanting to live in the same investment property, with some that actually are looking at selling California, but it's so challenging with the market over there that's going to take some time.
Is there a certain part? For some reason, I'm thinking Southern California, but I don't know. Are they from all the areas of California?
So most of my clientele are out of state. I have a huge influence on Instagram, but also I worked for the entertainment industry in New York City. So I know a lot and then also I used to, on Broadway, Charles LaPointe is a very famous wig designer. I was actually working in a studio before I had moved down here to Houston and met Greg.
So you lived in New York City?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I lived in Queens. I was stationed in New York. So I did that commute.
Okay, we could do a whole show about.
I know. But
what do you miss the most in New York from living in New York City? Right. What do you miss?
What I miss is just the way I always say, like, the different areas in the United States have like their different vibe. But I love the Northeast, the people's mentality, and like just like you're constantly on the move. But even though you're constantly on the move, you're having fun at the same time. It makes you grow up quick.
And what do you like the most about Houston, Texas, now that you're here?
What I like about Houston is you know what? I would say Houston is like the new New York, but it's laid back. It's very chill. and bigger space. And the nightlife is awesome.
We have that. We're talking with Greg Lindsay and Brian Buster with Lux Living Group. The other thing, Brian, I want to ask, going back to your military service, of all the branches in the military you could have served, why did you pick the Marines?
I'll say this. Growing up, I was that bad child. Like,
You needed discipline.
I needed discipline in my life, but I looked up one day because my mother was a Marine, and originally I wanted to do Air Force, and somehow the uniform of the Marine Corps caught my attention, and then knowing that 1% of Americans can get through that boot camp, I wanted a challenge, and I wanted to be a Marine. Like, I looked at that uniform and I said, I can see myself doing that, and every job that I've had, I've accomplished and was able to go beyond.
And adapt and overcome. No doubt about it. Well, Greg, what else should we know before we close this segment?
My, as he calls me, Harvard knowledge is I've been into the business for 25 years. I started when I was 20.
Here in Houston?
No, in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, wow.
And I had a mentor that we grew a business independently in Fort Lauderdale and had it and sold it to Wacker Realty in 8 years, and went on to Chicago and went to some business in Chicago, and I find myself in Houston. But I have 28 years of real estate knowledge and experience with dealing so many different facets that it allows me to guide and put you in the right places and make sure that your portfolio is meeting what it should.
Greg, let's tell people how they can reach you and your team.
I appreciate it. It's actually going to be on every platform. It's Greg Lindsay at Houston Realtor, and my phone number is area code 713-412-4144. 713-412-4144.
And Brian, your phone is
346-715-0772. Again, 346-715-0772.
And by the way, how many push-ups can you do?
I don't want to put that out there. I'll get a call from my drill instructor.
All right, then. We'll leave that as a mystery. Thank you guys for being with us again. Greg Lindsay and Brian Buster.
Thank you.
All righty. Thank you.
Let's talk money with Bob Richardson. Bob is the president of the Houston Mortgage Bankers Association. In addition, he is with a company called Arch Mortgage Insurance. Bob, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Bill. Appreciate being here.
Well, here you are. First of all, let's talk Houston Mortgage Bankers Association. People love this association. Let's tell people about the mission, and you are the president. Congratulations.
Yes.
So let's tell people what you all do there.
Perfect. Well, really what our goal is to educate our membership. So really what we do is we put on luncheons and events and happy hours to educate our members.
And as far as membership, there's people listening right now that are probably members, but if someone wants to be a member, who can be a member?
Really, we have two different types of members. We have regular members, which consists of really any individual, corporation, or partnership that originates, finance, closes, funds, sells, or services mortgage loans. They can also be life insurance companies or national state chartered banks or credit unions or people that work there as well. Really, anybody that is part of selling or servicing mortgage loans can be our regular members. But then we also have associate members that are mortgage brokers, title companies, mortgage insurance companies, law firms, appraisal management companies, insurance companies, or really essentially anybody else that services the mortgage industry.
It's covering a lot of bases there, Bob.
Absolutely.
And how long have you been involved, and how has this benefited you and your business?
I've been in the industry since about 1992, but I've been really involved with the Houston Mortgage Bankers Association since June of 2020 when I joined the board.
And as far as the goals for this year, now we're halfway, but how long does your term go? Does it go till next year at around June or so? Is that how it works?
Basically, we go from June to June. And so really what our goals are is really I want to make sure that our the goals are that we want to maximize our engagement with the mortgage industry, and we focus on our events where we support and guide and educate our members. And really, the other goal is that we want to increase membership, and we want to make sure that we connect with individuals and organizations that we may not have met yet. We also want to make sure that we are looking to increase our sponsors as well. We really want to make sure that we're providing an impactful and exciting opportunities for our members to interact and connect with. And really, my final goal is our annual golf tournament has been our most consistently successful event. And I want to be sure that this year it's going to be the best event that it's ever been.
And as far as you mentioned events a few times there, Bob, are there some events coming up that people should know about?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. In August,
put your seatbelt on. Here we go.
Get ready, because I've got a bunch. In August, we have our membership appreciation party, and that is going to be August 15th at Kirby Ice House on Gessner. It is going to be an indoor, so you're not going to be outside sweating. In September, on September 11th, not only are we going to take a moment to honor those who lost their lives 23 years ago, but we're also going to hold a builder panel where we will have an interaction between builders, local area builders, and mortgage originators to find out the best way to call on builders to kind of help mentor newer loan officers in the business. October 10th, we're going to have our annual Oktoberfest, which is going to be at King's Beer House. In November 13th, we're going to have Matt Burros, who is with he's the Houston Association of Realtors Chief Communication Officer. He's going to bring us up to date on the NAR settlement and how it's going to affect us locally. And obviously, if you need to know more about this and the dates, because I probably went through that a little fast, I want to give our website at www.houston-mba.com for details. And please come join us. We'd love to have you. www.houston-mba.com. And I want to note that you don't have to be a member to come. Just come on out.
So, in fact, someone could join one of the events and then decide to join and actually be a member. So let's tell people, if they want to be a member, what's the process? I'm going to guess you go to the website first, but
not necessarily. They can actually come to our event and get to know us, get to know what we're about. They can ask us questions about what we do on a daily, monthly, annual basis, and get some more information. And then decide then if they would like to join and become a part of our association, and go from there.
And if someone joins, other than the events, are there other benefits when they join that they get to enjoy?
They do get the benefits of basically being a part of our organization, where they will have access to all this information and attend our lunches and our events, not only these happy hours, but we really focus on our luncheons to be educational. We really want to bring that value to our members, to focus on these hot topics like the NAR settlement, these builder panels. We also have loan officer panels that we're also discussing as well, but really those type of events as well.
Well, of course, it sounds like a large responsibility, a lot of things going on there at the Houston Mortgage Bankers Association. However, you're also helping a company and working with a company called Arch Mortgage Insurance. Let's tell people what that is.
Yes, Arch Mortgage Insurance is actually my day job, so I'm really excited to be a part of that. Essentially, what Arch Mortgage Insurance is it's a conventional mortgage insurer. Unlike homeowners insurance, a lot of people get us confused with homeowners insurance. We actually protect the lender in case the borrower defaults. So a lot of people are reluctant to actually get mortgage insurance, but what we allow is we allow people to get into their homes for as little as 3 or 5% down. They don't have to save for 15 or 20% down to actually get into a home, which could take years for them to get into that new home. So mortgage insurance is actually a really great thing. It's not for everybody, but it can really help those people that struggle to come up with down payments.
So very important work there at Arch. As far as the marketplace, how many people are using mortgage insurance these days? Let's say out of the, I don't know, maybe 50 transactions or so, how many end up using?
You know, we're finding that, especially in Houston, I don't know specifically the numbers, but what I find, my book of business tends to, well, obviously my book of business is all conventional MI, but my customers are seeing that it's predominantly probably, I would say 60% government business. So they're seeing like FHA and VA, and then probably 30% conventional with MI, and then 10% uninsured and miscellaneous.
What should we know, Bob, about the rest of the year in terms of the market? What are you seeing? What's your feel for how things are going to play out in your world, and both with the Houston MBA and also in Arch with Arch?
Really, I think both go hand in hand, but I think the focus for both entities, for the Houston Mortgage Bankers as well as with Arch, is really everyone is going to be focusing on the first-time home buyer. Everyone is trying to figure out the best way to get more people into their homes, to figure out the best way to help people get people into homes that are struggling with down payment, the best way to get people into homes that are struggling with credit. And so really those types of situations.
So we can really look at Arch Mortgage Insurance Company as a tool to facilitate just those things as people are wanting to buy homes.
Absolutely. We're here to help.
And as you're doing both important responsibilities, how do you manage the balance in terms of, give us an organizational tip or two, how you do it to keep things straight and succeed and excel in both endeavors?
Well, it's usually a lot of nights and weekends because with the HMBA, it's basically, fortunately, I work with a board that is very dedicated. So it's not just me. My board is very involved, very dedicated. We all have, it's all hands on deck. We all put a lot of time and energy into this. So I know that everyone is doing a lot of work above and beyond their normal duties of their regular job. So these are all volunteer positions. So we have to basically make time, and time management really is key to this. So unfortunately, it does take some nights and weekends to where you're trying to accommodate that. But the good of it all is that I feel like I've been in this business for over 30 years. And what really helps me is that I feel like I'm giving back to a community and to a group of people that have really allowed me to make the living that I have. So it's been really good to me.
We're talking with Bob Richardson. He's the president of the Houston Mortgage Bankers Association and also working with Arch Mortgage Insurance Company. Bob, let's tell people the website for the Houston Mortgage Bankers Association and your phone number, please.
Sure. The Houston Mortgage Banker website is www.houston-mba.com, and my phone number is 832-228-0852. 832-228-0852.
And if someone wants to learn more about Arch, what's the website?
Sure, that is www.archmi.com.
Thank you so much, Bob Richardson.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it.
If you're a real estate professional, then listen closely. Cyber criminals are targeting our industry. They are impersonating real estate professionals, homebuyers, sellers, and title agents. Their goal is to gain access to your inboxes, computers, and clients so they can steal information and funds. Does your business insurance offset these risks? Not sure? Contact Stewart Insurance to determine if your business is properly insured. Visit stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827. Visit stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827.
Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title would not be possible without our partner, Stewart Insurance. With a focus in real estate and a special focus on real estate brokers, Stewart Insurance creates insurance plans to address the risks facing our industry today. They invest a significant amount of time helping real estate broker owners offset and manage their risks. Here he is, John Bramlett with Stewart Insurance. John.
Bill, always a pleasure.
Once again, here we are, proceeding with insurance information that everybody awaits far and wide, not just in Houston, Texas, but in fact, the whole world.
The whole world, yes. We are the world's leading resource for insurance knowledge.
In fact, probably the only world's insurance segment, but I'm just guessing. In the meantime, what have you brought for us today?
Well, you had mentioned in your kind introduction about the idea of risk management, so I wanted to kind of broadly talk a little bit and remind our audience about the different ways that we can help people minimize and offset risk. So from a minimization perspective, a way that you can minimize the chance of something bad happening, we offer classes for our real estate friends, so realtors, brokers, we have 3 continuing education classes that we offer that allow the real estate industry to learn about ways that they can minimize risk, learn about tools that they can turn around and use to help them be more effective and efficient with their clients.
Well, I certainly know because I follow you on Facebook, and you are doing classes far and wide all the time. So I know that those that are listening have seen some of your classes, have been to your classes, and they know it's chock full of tremendous information, but you have a very busy schedule out there with the classes.
We'll teach somewhere around 60 classes this year by the end of the year. And we really have 3 very diverse classes that all 3 provide some great tools for the realtors and brokers to use themselves as well as to share with their clients. We have a 2-hour class called The 2 Sides of Water, and it delves very deeply into the difference between what a flood is and what water damage is, the different types of flood insurance that's available, what flood insurance does and doesn't cover. And then on the second side of water, we look at water damage. So what are the 4 types of water damage that could be covered by a home insurance policy, as well as some other elements within a home insurance policy that would help a realtor's client make a better evaluation of the potential type of coverage that they might have, whether they were a first-time home buyer or this was the 7th home that they were buying. So that's where the value of the 2 sides of water comes into place. The second class we have is also a 2-hour class. It's Property Insurance Essentials for Real Estate Professionals. So as a realtor or broker works with their clients, it's critical that they understand how the client's going to use that property. And based on how that client uses that property is going to determine how that property should be insured and the type of coverage that's available. So we go through and look at 6 different types of property, residential property. What's the coverage that comes into play so that when a realtor or a broker is working with the client, they can provide some guidance on considerations that they might have or some questions that they should be asking their insurance advisor to make sure that they're properly insured. And then the last class is a 3-hour class, Real Estate Liability, Reduce Your Risks and Protect Your License. And this one is really driven specifically for the broker and the realtor. So our industry, we face risks every day. So we look at 7 risks that are out there that realtors face every day, and we have a conversation about those risks. And then we look at 8 ways that they can minimize those risks. So if you take some steps, you can minimize the chance of something bad happening. And at the end, we look at ways to offset that through 3 different types of business insurance.
All those classes have so much value, especially the last one, because the real estate professional is dealing with so many changes on a daily basis. Each transaction's different, but they also have, and I think sometimes they forget, quite frankly, that the realtor is at risk, and it's very wise to be able to know what to do to minimize the risk.
Exactly right. I mean, you're never going to get rid of all the risks, but if you're at least aware of what they are and have some tools to minimize the chance of something bad happening, then it's really helpful. And we can offer those classes many times through our greater Houston area Stewart Title offices. So just visit with your Stewart Title Business Development representative from your local office, and we can schedule a class that way. We offer them through HAR online, so har.com/education. And then if you would like, we can come out to your brokerage and teach the class as well.
Wow, it's good to know that there's still some room in your busy schedule, because I'm surprised you even have openings.
Well, we do. We can find a way to make it work. I guess the second way that we can help, so we've talked about how we can minimize risk. The other way is how do we offset risk? So, basically what we're looking at is how, so if a risk is the probability of something bad happening, and then the exposure is what's that financial damage. So if you can take that exposure and offset part of it or some of it to an insurance company, obviously that's where we would come into play. Stewart Insurance is an independent property and casualty broker. So basically what that means is instead of just offering products and services from one company, we have access to a variety of companies. So whether we're helping you with your personal insurance or your business insurance, we work with a variety of companies to find the best plan possible to make sure that you're properly insured based on whether it's your individual or your business needs at that time.
I would tell you right now, more than ever, the fact that you are able to access more than one insurance company, it has more value more than ever with rates changing, with disaster striking, not just here in Houston, but far beyond. And I speak personally as I talk with the associates at Stewart Insurance on a regular basis, as my insurance complexion is now changing and I have different needs. So, yes, that's very important. So there you go.
It really is. I mean, and the market is changing, and there are challenges that we're facing in the ability to be able to find different options based upon, as you said, your potential, your changing needs as an individual or a business, but also the appetites of the insurance companies change. So being able to work with different companies really helps us out. So from a personal perspective, we can help with your home insurance or renters. We can work with flood, wind and hail, auto, motorcycle, your investment property, watercraft. So any of your personal property needs or living needs, we can help with that. And then on the business side, we work with realtors, real estate brokers, property management firms, and independent title and attorney agents on their business insurance. So we can do professional liability or errors and admissions coverage, cyber liability to help offset any potential damages from a cyber attack or a hacking situation, general liability that works with situations of trips and falls or damaging property, commercial property. We sometimes can combine the two into business owner's plan, which can be really helpful. We do commercial auto. We work with folks on their workers' compensation, employment practice liability, and many different types of bonds.
So many things, John.
Well, it is, and that's why we have such a fantastic team at Stewart Insurance, that we have advisors and service folks that focus in those particular areas. So we have those that focus on the personal lines, helping families and individuals, and then we have insurance advisors that focus specifically on the business side, helping with errors and emissions, cyber liability, and the other products that we've talked about.
I want to point out to listeners that may have just joined the show for the first time, second time, this is a regular feature on the show. So number one, there's so much to talk about. That's why we have it on every show. But also, for those that listen and you talk about appetites, they say, I want more insurance information. Every week at this same time, you're here.
That's right. Every week we're here.
You never miss either.
No. This is important for us, and it's a way that we can give back to the industry. As Bob was talking about the benefits of the HMBA, of giving back to the industry, this is a way that we can give back to the industry, but also it's a way that we can build awareness and drive business for our firm.
John, what else should we know?
Well, if you do want to be properly insured, and all that means is that whether you're an individual, a family, or a business, that you understand the coverage that you have and you understand the areas that you're responsible for, then in our world, you're properly insured. So that could be a very conservative plan or it could be a very robust plan. And that's our goal is always to make sure that our clients are properly insured. And you can learn more about us at stewartinsurance.com. You can email us at stewartinsurance@stewart.com, or you can give us a shout and we'd be happy to work with you. And that number is 866-798-2827, 866-798-2827.
What if someone's in New York City? What number should they call?
We have a special line set up for the folks in New York City, and that's 866-798-2827. 866-798-2827.
Thank you so much, John Bramlett with Stewart Insurance.
Bill, always a pleasure.
And now, here he is from Fort Bend County and Sugar Land, one of our business development people. His name is Kevin Davidson. Kevin, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bill. How you doing today?
And as always, you're bringing tremendous guests forth here on the show. But let's tell people about what you do and your two offices that you're serving, because I know people want to bring the contracts to you and all of our business development people around town. But in particular, you're serving
the Fort Bend County area, or specifically the Sugar Land and Richmond area. That's where my two offices are that I represent. And people ask me all the time what makes us different, because you do have a choice in title. Other than Stewart being the largest and oldest title company to exist, from my perspective, I'm what makes our two offices different, in the sense that I create, design, get approved, and teach my own CE classes, and they're all marketing related. So not only do I provide great title services for the agents in the Fort Bend County, I also help them, if they want, marketing support to help them grow their business, and I do that all complimentary.
In fact, I saw something on Facebook that you put on another distinction in your offices. Didn't you receive some kind of award or recognition?
I was hoping you could let me mention that.
And please do.
We just we were informed a couple of weeks ago that the real estate agents and the public that reads Living Magazine has voted us for the second consecutive year Stewart Title, Sugar Land, and Richmond Title Company of the Year in Fort Bend County.
Let's say that again. Title Company
of the Year.
Ooh, wow, that's awesome.
2 years in a row.
And you know what I would add to that? In fact, this is what I thought when I saw that post this morning. I believe every Stewart Title office is the Title Company of the Year, and I don't even care what year it is.
I know. And to mention that, not only did we receive that, Kimberly Dawkins up in the Cypress area also got it as well. So
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing our best out there, no doubt about it, at Stewart Title to exceed expectations. Kevin, let's tell people how they can reach you in your two offices.
832-654-0527. 832-654-0527.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Bill.
Kevin Davidson. And now she is back, Gina Blanco. The company is Wazell Properties.
Okay, so hi, everybody. My name is Gina Blanco with Wazell, your friendly realtor.
Wait a minute. Let's just dwell on that a second. Where did you come up with that, Gina? Your friendly realtor. I love that because people can remember it.
Yeah, well, I realized, that I could be your favorite or I could be your friendly realtor, and I think I'm friendlier.
Can you be both?
I would like to be both, yes.
There you go. That sounds good.
Well, whether you're a first-time buyer, seasoned investor, or you speak Spanish because I do hablo español, or you're just looking to navigate the real estate market, I am dedicated to provide expert support and just guide you every step of the way.
That sounds pretty awesome.
Yes, and book your free consultation with me at 832-755-5785. Again, it's 832-755-5785.
So that would be what we're calling a free consultation. So I would call if I want to sell or buy?
Yes, if you want to sell or buy or invest, I will go ahead and strategize and meet your goals.
That sounds good.
Yes, and also follow me on Instagram at Gina Sells Houses.
Gina Sells Houses. The number again is?
832-755-5785. Thank you so much, Bill, for having me
Thank you, Gina, for being here with us. And now we get to talk with Greg Lindsay and Brian Buster. Their company is called Lux Living Group. Gentlemen, welcome back.
Thank you, Bill. Oh, and Bill, just to recap on the push-ups, I got to let you know because I know I'll get my phone blown up by Marines. We don't do push-ups. We do pull-ups, sir.
Pull-ups?
Yes, sir.
They're even harder than push-ups.
I believe the Army does push-ups.
Oh, okay. Pardon me. But in the meantime, guys, back to real estate. Greg, what should people know about Lux Living?
Lux Living itself, we are a boutique finding. We want to be your one-stop shop for your real estate needs. Brian and I work as a team together. We are flawlessly always knowing our clients' information. So if you can't get a hold of one, you got the other in this navigating real estate world that we have. My combined 25 years experience, his military discipline.
And the core values that I will always have as a Marine. I just want to put out there that you are working with two different personalities and we make the process very unique.
Sounds good to me. And also, I think the interesting thing a lot of people are going to remember, Brian, as far as your work and how you were able to understand and use Google in a certain way to further your business. Give us, if you would, if it's even possible, is there one tip that we all should know, whether it's business or even just our personal use of Google? What should we know about Google, like that might be a mystery that you could clear up right now?
I would say use Google Analytics and learn. And that way you can market your own websites. Check in with Google Skill Shop.
Okay, now where do we find that? Do we Google Google?
Yeah, literally go on Google.
So
Google Skill Shop, make an account,
Shop.
And start learning. It'll teach you everything about Google Business and all the different things that Google releases. And I'm telling you right now, if you get started on that, I promise your business will succeed.
So that sounds, and correct me if I'm wrong, that's something that's free.
It is free, yes,
that
sir.
All we have to do is start, just like with Facebook, start looking at the settings and explore a little bit deeper because, again, these things are used every day, but they're still mysterious.
Yes, sir. I spent 16 hours so far dedicating to these courses, and you get certified. And you can check out my LinkedIn also. My LinkedIn has grown significantly because of it.
So, Greg, I bet you learned hanging around with Brian a little bit more about Google maybe than you ever wanted to know.
For sure. I think one of the biggest things I learned out of all this good stuff is just Google reviews are going to be it moving forward. It's going to be the
Google
search engine
reviews.
optimizations and positioning you on the pull-ups.
And there's also a thing with Google where you can tie in and any review that you get on any platform, it's called conversion, or not conversion, but compounding those reviews into one that will set you apart from other.
Reviews are so important, aren't they?
Very,
yes.
very
I had
important.
a sprinkler guy come out, and he gave me a free estimate, and it turned out there was no work to be done. But as he left, he said, make sure you give me a good review. So people want that good review. Also, they want your phone numbers. Gentlemen, we're talking, again, it's Greg Lindsay, Brian Buster, Lux Living Group. Let's tell them how to reach you.
I can be reached on any platform at Greg Lindsay Houston Realtor, and my phone number would be 713-412-4144. Again, that's going to be Greg Lindsay Houston Realtor at 713-412-4144.
And that's Greg with 2 G's.
Exactly.
Actually 3. Greg, Gregg. And Brian?
Yes, sir. You can reach me on any platform as well. My phone number is 346-715-0772. Again, my phone number is 346-715-0772. And go to Google and type in Brian Buster, Houston Realtor. You'll find me.
Thank you, gentlemen. And now he is back, the president, that's right, of the Houston Mortgage Bankers Association, and also with Arch Mortgage Insurance. His name is Bob Richardson. Hey, Bob.
Hey, hi, Bill.
As we close, it looks like it's you and me closing things down.
Yes, sir.
Bob, what else should we know about what you're doing, either or both, with Houston Mortgage Banking Association and Arch?
Well, I just wanted to remind everyone that we have our events coming up for the fall and winter coming up and the remainder of summer. But I wanted to remind everyone that you don't have to be a member of the Houston Mortgage Bankers Association to attend. So I wanted to remind everyone about the email or the website to get more information, and that's www.houston-mba.com. So please feel free to visit our website and get more information. And then also when it comes to Arch Mortgage Insurance, again, that's the mortgage insurance that covers the lender in case of a default. So I do not cover the homeowner's insurance. So I want to be clear on that piece of it so there's no misleading there. But if anybody has any questions on that, they can call me at my cell is 832-228-0852. Again, that number is 832-228-0852, and that will cover Arch MI, or if they need information regarding the Houston Mortgage Bankers Association, I can answer their questions on that as well.
Thank you so much for being with us, Bob Richardson, Houston Mortgage Bankers Association. The website is?
Sure, that's www.houston-mba.com.
Thank you so much, Bob Richardson. And thank you so much, everyone listening. Please tell your friends. Simply go to stewart.com/radio. That's right. You can see and hear the show. Yes, we have it on YouTube, so you can see the tremendous guests, not just on this show, but on all the shows as you visit the show archive at stewart.com/radio. That's stewart.com/radio. I am your host, Bill Knapik. Thank you so much for listening. And once again, we would sure appreciate it. Tell a friend about the show, about the website, and we will see you next week. Thanks for listening.
Gracias por escuchar que Bienes Raíces sí importa.